We talked with some of the country's largest malls to see if the rate of crime is a national issue, or maybe it's more hyper-local here in Syracuse right now. Our Maggie DeRoche has been following the Destiny story and has more with us tonight. Maggie.
Pyramid Management pointed to national crime rates, saying the shootings and robberies at the mall are tied to national trends and aren't a Destiny USA specific issue. So I started looking at reports from around the country to see if other large malls are experiencing similar issues. Destiny USA is the 8th largest mall in the country. In the past 3 months, the mall has seen 3 shootings or shots fired on its property. So is this a Destiny problem or a problem plaguing all large malls? If you ask Stephen Conjal, he said in a statement, collectively, we will each do our part by investing additional resources into our security efforts as a result of national trends of rising crime. But we wanted to see whether that holds true. I reached out to every mall ownership group and police department that serves the top 10 largest malls. While we wait for return calls, I started looking up news reports about shootings at those malls. At the largest mall in the country, the Mall of America, the only recent story that comes up is from the New Year's Eve shooting of 2021, where 2 people were wounded. At the 3rd largest mall, the King of Prussia Mall outside of Philadelphia, there was an accidental shooting in March of 2021, a year ago, where a man shot himself in the leg, and police shot a man who faced charges and was on the run at the mall in 2017. At the 4th largest mall, South Coast Plaza, there are mentions of armed robberies, but no articles mentioning any shootings at the mall. Meanwhile, in Syracuse, the mayor said Tuesday afternoon that the police departments will start patrolling mall parking lots to provide extra security.
There is an agreement that the Syracuse Police Department will begin doing parking lot patrols in addition to the police support they provide within the facility. We know that some of the problems exist outside in the parking lot, and so by having SPD cars and officers patrolling the parking lots, we're hopeful that that will help.
As a reminder, a similar search for crime reported at Destiny will find 3 reports of shootings at the mall in the past 90 days. The mall has refused all requests for an in-person interview.
Tomorrow marks 2 full weeks since masking in schools became optional here in New York, and pediatricians say they are now seeing a surge of sick kids, but they're not sick with COVID. Our Connor White is live in Syracuse with more details. Connor?
Megan and Matt, Upstate Golisano Children's Hospital has a robust viral illness testing system, and right now it's getting a lot of use. Their experts say that run-of-the-mill illnesses and the flu have surged in school-aged kids, but at the moment they are not recommending that they put the masks back on. Given the chance a few weeks ago, Jordan Elbridge made masking optional.
It looks a lot friendlier without the masking. It's great to see the kids' faces.
Superintendent James Froyo says all but a handful of the district's students are now leaving masks at home. So far, Froyo says COVID numbers have remained steady at about 7 new cases per week.
I was hoping it would decline, but it hasn't really declined for us either. The numbers are low and they've continued to be low.
As far as COVID goes, Upstate's pediatric infectious disease specialist says that's true of most school districts. But they are seeing more sick kids.
There are common cold viruses that can be quite pesky for people with asthma or COPD. So those viruses came back.
Masking kept the flu and other viruses at historical lows, and without masks, they're rebounding quickly.
We know that we've seen at least 3 to 4-fold increase compared to March last year.
Seeing these other types of illnesses resurge isn't setting off alarm bells for you?
No, it's not, because it is expected. These viruses will not go away. They will continue to circulate. They are a normal part of our lives. So I'm not particularly concerned.
The return of more typical illness means parents in Jordan are frequently using state-issued at-home COVID tests to pin down exactly what a sore throat or other symptoms could mean.
We've been actually notified more this week than ever before through parents doing home tests.
Dr. Shaw says that she would need to see a new easily spread variant and or a lot more breakthrough cases and hospitalizations for her to once again recommend universal masking in the classroom.
We're looking ahead tonight to the closing arguments in the second murder trial of Robert Neulander. The defense resting its case yesterday without calling Jenna Neulander to the stand. She's the only other person who was in that DeWitt mansion the day her mother Leslie died. What can we expect as the jury prepares to try and come to a unified decision? Our Mary Keeler has more.
In week 3 of the second murder trial of Robert Neulander, the jury is done hearing direct cases from the defense and prosecution. DA Bill Fitzpatrick hoping he's done enough to prove Leslie Neulander was killed by her husband, presenting a new piece of evidence that was not part of Neulander's first murder trial in 2015. A piece of what they say is Leslie Neulander's head on the couple's bedroom headboard.
Oh my God, my mother!
Fitzpatrick also playing the 911 call from Jenna Neulander, Robert and Leslie's daughter, in court. Leslie Neulander's sister, Joanne London, among the many family members supporting Bob Neulander against these charges. The family joining Neulander's defense team in their steadfast belief that Leslie died after slipping and falling in the shower. Jonathan Bach leads the team representing Neulander. They rested their case without calling Jenna Neulander. What does that mean? Peter Polano of Tully Rinke says the defense has the benefit of knowing how the first trial testimony went with her.
If we know that this is where the witness is going, do we bother calling, or do we comment on the fact that the prosecution didn't call? I think in this case that's obviously where the defense is heading with it.
On Wednesday, closing arguments.
What's the crux of what can be done in a closing argument?
Well, closing arguments are to be limited to the facts of the case, and it is the attorney's opportunity to tell the jury what they believe the evidence means.
Whatever both sides say during closing arguments is not evidence. After that's over, the jury will have a pile of expert and personal testimony to consider, including graphic photos of blood in the couple's bedroom, an expert debate over whether the new evidence found on the headboard is a piece of Leslie Neulander's head.